What's going on, guys? It's your boy Elisha here. Welcome back to Go. This is the show where we discuss everything in the world of football from the past week, and by we, of course, I mean myself and you, the amazing, wonderful, beautiful people of the world of football, guys, from the Champions League, La Liga, European football, all that type of stuff. We got a lot to talk about this week. So without further ado, let's get right to the business. So first up, we are talking the Champions League, for which actually the round of 16 draw is going to be announced today. But this week, let's talk about some of the games that happened, who got eliminated, who made it through to the round of 16. But let's take out the laptop first of all for a moment of magic. All right, so now let's talk about Ajax versus Valencia, which ended in 1-0 in Valencia. Eliminated Ajax from the Champions League. First of all, that is tragic. And when De Jong saw that moment, man, at the end of the Barca game, who actually beat Inter Milan and eliminated them from the Champions League, when he saw on that screen the results, man, and that Ajax had been eliminated, crushing to him, man, since it was his former team. That's where he had his formative years and where he made his name. Like, the sole reason why he is the player he is today is because of their academy, it's because of their team, it's because of Ajax, and the fact that now they got eliminated a year after they played so well with him and De Ligt in it. It's an unfortunate moment, but it's part of growth. Sometimes you outgrow your environment, you got to move on to bigger things. But of course, I feel like his heart is still over there. But, you know, that's just a part of the game. But the positives of that game, of the Barcelona game, actually, was that Ansu Fati became the youngest ever. This kid from Africa is the youngest ever scorer in the greatest European club competition in the world. Ansu Fati, at 17 years old and 40 days, became the youngest scorer and won the game for Barcelona 2-1 against Inter Milan and eliminated them right the hell out of there. So now they're back in the Europa League, and Luke Shaw had a little joke on Twitter about Lukaku, because it seems like he was super happy when he went to Inter and that he was back in the Champions League, because United are in Europa right now. But the fact that he got eliminated in the group stage and now he's back in the Europa League, he had to rub it in his face, which is, hey man, fair play. Because when it happens like that, you just got to be like, listen man, welcome. We've been expecting you. Now you right back here. They still have a chance in the Serie A. And he still has a shot at getting a trophy this year, getting a major trophy. But right now, Champions League is out of the question, so he has to settle for the Europa. And it's kind of weird. It seems like Napoli were planning on firing Ancelotti. They fired him right after they beat Genk 4-1 in the Champions League, and they moved on to the next round, but still, they got rid of him. I'm guessing just something wasn't working out, and they felt like no matter what, whether it's win, lose, or draw, he's out of there and they're going to replace him. And they got him right up out of there. They said, man, I don't care if you would have won 10-0. You out. You're not doing business anymore. Just pack your stuff. You're done. You're out of here. Also, a big congrats to the boy Gabriel Jesus, man. Finally getting some light. Finally starting games and really making an impact for Manchester City. He got himself a hat-trick versus Dinamo Zagreb this week in the Champions League. Also, Man City moved on to the next round. I'm happy seeing him. Not, you know, as a 31-year-old, Aguero should not be taking his place in that team. Like, he's 22-year-old, really good player, made a lot of noise coming out of Palmeiras and coming into Man City. Pep personally made it his duty to get him on that team, and the fact that now he's having to share his spot on the bench with Aguero is rubbing me the wrong way. But it seems like he's finding his footing, he's finding his spot in the starting lineup, and hopefully it's permanent. Hopefully he can really impact that team on a big stage and get a lot more playing time and start scoring goals that we know that he could score. Come on, bro. Put that work in and start making history. But with that being said, in the round of 16, we're going to find out actually today who's going to be playing who in the round of 16. But the qualifiers, the 16 teams that have made it through the group stage are Atalanta from Italy, of course, Atletico de Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Dortmund representing the Bundesliga, and from the Premier League, you got Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, Tottenham, Juventus, and Leipzig, also from the Bundesliga, Olympique Lyonnais, and the Ligue 1, Napoli, as I said earlier, PSG, Real Madrid, and Valencia, whose game actually we have to talk about right now because it was crazy. Let's get to it, man. That Real Madrid versus Valencia game. Both came into it. First of all, Valencia came in from that 1-0 win against Ajax, making it to the round of 16. They got a lot of confidence. They got a strong squad this year. Real Madrid, who also came from a win, but you know how shaky them and, to be fair, Barcelona have been this season. So the fact that this game is in a way more important than El Clasico that's coming up Wednesday, because there's such two big teams. Real is trying not to slip up and to have that confidence going into El Clasico, and Valencia are over here like they're trying to get as many points as they can. Barcelona slipped up against Real Sociedad. They were losing 1-0 at some point from an early penalty. Griezmann equalized against his own club, and Luis Suarez was able to put them in front in 2-1, but in the end Real Sociedad equalized and they had to share points, and Real Madrid fans were super happy about that, as they should be, But then the Valencia game, in which Real was attacking strong and fiercely, like they were putting balls all up in that box, like they were really giving Valencia a run for their money. They were shooting a lot. Their defense was strong throughout the whole match, but Valencia was just as strong. They were composed. They seemed confident throughout the whole entire game, and so in the end they put themselves in front 1-0 at the end of the game, around the 70th minute. So Real were kind of under a lot of pressure, and in literally the last seconds of the game, from a corner, Courtois comes up, tallest guy on the whole field, gets the header in, shot save by the Valencia goalkeeper, and on the bounce back, Benzema buries it right in their face for the 1-1 draw. But the funny thing is that Real fans need to you guys, before you gloat when you're on the same level as Barcelona, wait a little bit. Wait, you deserve to gloat, you deserve to brag, you deserve to rub it in Barca fans' faces. But wait a little bit, because you almost lost it right now, and Barca would have had the last laugh. So wait. But anyways, Barcelona versus Real Madrid this Wednesday, guys. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you watch that game. It's going to be one for the books. A very legendary game. We might see Ansu Fati in his first ever El Clasico. Also Rodrigo. And it's just fresh new faces. It's going to be a great one. Griezmann also in his first one. So I'm excited for that. Who do you guys think is going to go home with the win, or will there be a winner in this game? Drop it down in the comments. Barcelona or Real Madrid, who's going to take away the win? Of course, you know I'm going for Barcelona right now. I feel like after this draw, they have a lot to prove. They have to show that, hey, we had this draw, we had the game. It wasn't that we played bad, but you know, whatever the case may be, it happened. Real Sociedad were able to equalize, so we got the draw. But then on Real Madrid's side, it's more like we played a solid game, offensive and defensively, but we feel like we kind of ran out of luck, and Valencia was able to put the pressure on it and put our back against the wall. But we played such a strong game that we're going into it super confident, which is something that usually gets to Real Madrid's heads, their cockiness and their overconfidence sometimes. So I definitely think that in terms of like the level-headedness and the amount of structure going into it, that Barcelona has the upper hand. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I want to hear all the opinions. But moving on to the Premier League, and a weird thing happened during the Everton versus Manchester United game, where Moise Kean came on at the 70th minute, and less than like about 10 minutes later, he got subbed off. Like, what was that? And the coach said that it was nothing personal, that he just wanted to waste a bit of time. But it's kind of, don't do that to the kid, man. Like, he's coming into this team having a great season with Juventus, and of course not being able to all the way fit in right now because of Ronaldo. But don't sub him in. First of all, he's on the bench. Don't sub him in and then sub him out in the same half. Like, what are you doing? That's a little disrespectful, personal or not. That just, it doesn't look good whatsoever. But they shared points during that game. Everton United 1-1. And speaking of United, shout out to Jesse Lingard, who shared this weekend that, you know, he's kind of been going through a rough time, and we kind of guessed that, seeing how, you know, he hasn't been his usually like super eccentric and happy self, especially on the pitch. Hasn't scored in a very long time, so, you know, he has a bit of some family problems, and all I can say is that I wish him all the best, and I wish that all these, you know, whether it's health-wise and for his mother, or, you know, when it comes to his daughter and all of that different stuff, that's the man's personal business. I feel like he shouldn't even have to be explaining to anybody. That's his stuff. But sometimes bottling things in could be really detrimental, and everyone needs somebody to talk to. And I'm happy that he speaks out, because he does have a lot of fans and a lot of people. So I hope that all football fans overall just keep pouring support for him and keep, you know, uplifting him, because you need that. You know, take out the football and recognize that that's a human being, and, you know, just share some love with them. Moving on to the Manchester City Arsenal game, and this guy on Twitter was I don't even know who he is. Like, who is this guy talking about, oh, I feel like Arsenal are they're gonna do something super unexpected against Man City. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Hey. Okay, you know what? I thought they were going to do something unexpected. And I was kind of right. They conceded less goals than I thought they would. That's unexpected. Shit, that's unexpected. But Kevin De Bruyne put the paws on Arsenal. He put them hands on them. Oh my God. Like, sheesh, first goal, third goal, it was a masterclass of a match, especially coming from Kevin De Bruyne. Raheem Sterling got a goal too, but at no point in that game did Arsenal look like they were gonna pull back and even get a goal back. Like, they had some chances, but it was nothing to be worried about. And Manchester City absolutely just annihilated them. Like, I'm sorry, it's just, as I keep saying, there's a real fundamental problem at Arsenal right now, and whatever it is, it has to be fixed. Speaking of which, though, Ozil had a bit of controversy, things that, you know, really shouldn't be controversial, because he's defending a very good cause. Like, we all know Ozil is a Muslim man. Like, he's from Germany of Turkish descent, but he's Muslim, and he's speaking out many times about Muslim issues and times when Muslim people have been in danger of different stuff, different Muslim groups around the world. And he didn't hold back his tongue against the Uyghurs, and if I'm butchering that name, my bad, but who are a group in China who are Muslim and who are being persecuted by the Chinese people. Y'all could come at me if you want after that, but that's just the fact. That's what's happening right now. They're concentration camps right now, where people are being put in so that they're being forced to do things against their religion. They're being forced to abandon their religion, and it's just happening. Like, you can't deny it. So if the Chinese media, Chinese government, and the Chinese people get mad at that, like, then I guess either you fix the problem or don't get mad at people for speaking up against it. It doesn't make your country look good, but at the end of the day, if it's happening and you want your country to look good, fix something that's happening that's barbaric and that shouldn't be, you know? So it's in football. As much as we hate having to bring politics into it, these players are real people and they have real platforms and voices. And so when they speak out about things like this, you can't help but to listen, because these are real life problems. But let's get back onto the football stuff now, because that's the positive stuff we're here to talk about and all share together. And some very, very good news. I'm so happy for this guy, man. Coutinho scoring against Werder in their 6-1 win of Bayern Munich. 3 goals. He got himself a hat-trick and a brace of assists. 3 goals, 2 assists for the man. I'm so happy that he's finding his foot. Listen, man, whatever the case may be with Barcelona, it didn't work out all the way over there. But now he's found somewhere where he's actually happy. Could they still win the Bundesliga? It's looking more and more likely still. the other teams at top are very strong. Mönchengladbach, who actually dropped points against Wolfsburg this weekend, and Leipzig, who is on top of the Bundesliga now, are looking so strong. Dortmund is picking things back up again. They're looking a little bit too strong for Bayern to be able to catch up. But right now, anything is possible. Everybody, as Mönchengladbach did, can drop points. Anybody could pick up points. And I definitely think that it's going to go down to the very last game of the season. And I cannot wait for it. Right now, whatever the case may be, Bundesliga is the most competitive league in Europe right now. And I'm loving it. No McDonald's though. And let's move on to the Serie A to end this, in Inter versus Fiorentina, which ended in 1-1. Also, Juventus won their game. Ronaldo was able to get a brace, but with Inter dropping points right now, they're still on top of the Serie A, but they could have had a chance to actually go up with a couple points, but wasn't able to happen. They could have been 2 points up right now. Juventus are very, very close to them. They still got a shot. I think it's going to be like just as competitive as in the Bundesliga right now, because they're so tight and they have such great squad. It's going to be a good competition for sure. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this week in football. A lot of very interesting things. The Champions League, round of 16. I'm looking forward to the matchup that's going to happen. I'm predicting like a Barcelona finding Liverpool again. Like I want to see that early on in the Champions League. Barca, Liverpool playing against each other. After last year, man, that hurt so much. I feel like if Barcelona gets a chance at eliminating, and Zidane even said if Real gets Liverpool, they're eliminating them. Like, he's very confident in that. I'm not so sure that that's actually feasible and that's gonna happen. But I'm also not one of the greatest bald players of all times and a manager who won 3 Champions League back-to-back. So I don't know. He maybe knows a bit more than I do. But from this seat, from this couch right now, from where I'm looking at, I'm not seeing Real beating Liverpool, man. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not seeing it. But yes, also, don't forget to drop in the comments who do you think is going to win in the El Clasico, which, you know, I know it was postponed because of all the safety hazard and the protests and and why don't you know what I'm saying, empty stadium and I've heard it all the arguments and money, you guys want to sell tickets. Yeah, it's a business, they want to sell tickets. Big whoop. Like, we know money is a big part of football now. It's not what every club started with. It's especially not what Joan Gamper, what his vision was for Barcelona. But at the end of the day, it's kind of a reality now. Money is a big part of it. You got to sell tickets. You got to pay the bills. That's just what it is. But yeah, guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you share it. Make sure you subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Just print out the transcript of everything I've said in this episode. Print it out. Put it in a letter. Share with your mommy, your daddy, your nanny, your Grammy, your Danny, your dog, your cat, your pet lizard, your pet tarantula, your pet elephant if you live in India. Shout out to India. Your giraffe, your Pumbaa, your Lion King, your whoever you want to share it with, man. Share it with your toes, your fingers, your knees, wherever. Just make sure you check out the music and the social media in the description, and I will see you guys next time on Goal. Peace.